Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. And this is our series of wellness professionals that really support whole health. So whether it's essential oil guests or it's ones working with our body and our image, which we have Liza Lomax here today, who's a body image coach. So welcome, Liza.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. So to get started, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into body image coaching.
And a lot of people ask me, they're like, body image, what is that? And the first thing I tell them is, body image goes much, much deeper than the outer exterior that we see. It's really going into the inside and really digging deep into those, those limiting beliefs and those behaviors and those stories and habits that we've essentially created since we were kids. We're told right away we have to look a certain way and dress a certain way and act a certain way and be a certain way. And when we're not those ways, we try to fix them, and we try to fix them some more and over and over and over. And then we become adults. We are completely messed up in the heads because we are constantly comparing ourselves to every single person around us. We're constantly comparing anything around. We have that negative self-talk, that head trash that just spins around in our heads over and over and over again. And there's so many other things like, the mirror. We have a hard time looking at ourselves in the mirror. One of the taglines I use is, can you look at yourself in the mirror naked and completely accept what you see? Most women cannot do that. They will sit and nitpick at every single little thing that they see, every single imperfection. They only see what they want to change and not what's really there in front of them, which is a beautiful, brilliant, amazing person. But we see every single thing. So body image goes much, much deeper than just the outer exterior. And why I do body image coaching? Well, I have my own transformational story, as most people that do this kind of work have a story. So my story really started, when I was very young. And I suffered from 2 EDs. I had anorexia and overeating. So I was a binge eater as well. And I literally went from one end of the spectrum to the other. So I was literally like a size 2 and I got to a size 22. And everywhere else in between, I had body image issues. So it doesn't matter. I tell people, I'm like, you can be a size 2 or a size 22. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We all have those issues. And so by the time I was 26, I weighed 300 pounds. So I literally went from starving myself to filling my emotions with food, filling my body with food, all those, unhealthy, emotional outlets I turned to. And I was 300 pounds and the doctors tell me that I'm going to die if I didn't lose weight. And at the time, my son was 2. He is now 19. I know I don't look old enough to have a 19-year-old, but I do. And, I was like, well, I want to live to see him grow older. So I'll lose the weight for him. So again, I'm doing something for somebody else. I'm not doing it for myself. As a very young, kind of take a step back a little bit, in my childhood, I was the oldest of 4. I really became the pseudo parent in the household. And I learned I was a caregiver. I was a people pleaser. I was a doormat. So I let people walk all over me. I took care of everybody. I did what I had to do. And I put myself on the back burner at a very young age. And so 26, 300 pounds. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to live to see my son grow older. I'll lose the weight for him. So I ended up losing 105 pounds in 13 months.
Wow.
But I didn't change my mindset.
Yeah.
And so then I continued to yo-yo over and over and over. And it wasn't until probably another 5 years later went down the road and I literally hit rock bottom. I was addicted to diet pills. I was a heavy drinker. I did things to my body nobody should ever do to themselves. I would eat and eat and eat and take laxatives, and I would eat and eat and eat, take laxatives. So I went back to those same habits, those same limiting beliefs, those same behaviors. And I was addicted to alcohol. I took every single diet pill imaginable. I've done them, tried them all. I've tried every diet fad, diet shake, diet powder, diet pill, everything I've tried. And whether you believe in God, higher source, higher power, I really believe God was just telling me that I needed to change and something had to give. And so I really had to take that step back and really look at myself and be like, okay, well, I've been a doormat. I've been a people pleaser. I have let people walk all over me. I've based my worth on what other people thought of me. I've never taken care of myself. I've never learned how to love myself. So is that what I need to do, is learn to love myself? Well, yes, we know the answer to that is true, is yes, we need to learn how to love ourselves. We can't truly take care of another person until we love ourselves. And so that sent me on my journey of like finding myself, finding who I was, finding my authenticity, finding, who Liza was, this person I put in a box so long ago, and kind of set them off to the side. And in the process created my program, which derives from my own personal experiences. And, I went out and studied every self-help book and every guru and everybody out there that I could get my hands on that could show me, like, how is this possible? How do I do this? And, went and got certifications in a multitude of different things, because I knew that I needed all these tools in my tool belt. I knew I needed this knowledge to be able to, first in my life, I had to learn how to love myself. And second, my mission became that I had to help other women learn to love themselves. So that became my new mission, was like, I need to help other women learn to love themselves. And the mirror is a huge thing, because again, like I said, we look at it and we nitpick at every single little thing that we see. We don't see any of the good. We see the gray hair and the wrinkles and the fine lines and the cellulite and everything else. My nose is too big. My nose is crooked. My eyebrows are, too bushy. I mean, there's always something. My lips are too thin. There's always something that we strive for this perfection.
Yeah.
This society shows us we have to be this certain way. So we strive for this perfection. And when we don't get it, we feel that we're failures, and we're not failures.
Completely.
So,
right. And I see that already with like my 2-year-old,
Yes.
like little girls pick up on everything around them, and
Yep.
items and how to look and what to wear. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing how it's just everywhere, everywhere you look.
Mm-hmm. I've seen toddlers get on scales and say, "Mommy, I'm fat."
Wow.
Where are they learning that from?
Right.
They're learning that from the parents. So you got to be very mindful of the words that you say to yourself, not only internally, externally. You have to also worry about the energy that you're projecting out there, because everybody feels it.
Yep, completely. I agree. Okay, so you kind of touched a little bit on making the mirror your friend. But if it's a struggle, how do you make that shift? So you've been kind of talking about what to do, but what's like one good strategy that you would highly recommend for someone to make that shift themselves?
Obviously, yeah, I got a lot of tools in my tool belt. There's a lot of other strategies. There's a lot of stuff that I go in depth, in detail when, you go through this, through my own coaching program. It's much more detailed. However, one tip that is so simple is we tend to make things very hard on ourselves when everything in life is actually simple. If you look at it from that point of view, it'll be great for the rest of your life. Everything is simple. It really is very, very simple. So one of the techniques I use, and it's a technique that a lot of people actually use, but I've just kind of made up my own, and it's called the I Love You mirror challenge. And I always do it as a challenge, and I always give somebody 2 weeks, because just to get them going and get them going on something and seeing what kind of changes can happen. So what I tell them is the easiest thing is to say I love you to yourself. That is the hardest thing for us to say to ourselves, because, we can say it to every single person, our spouse, our partner, our friends, our children, anybody else around us, we can say, I love you too, but we have the hardest time saying it to ourselves. Why is it so hard for us? Because again, when we're younger, we're told that we can't take care of ourselves. It's selfish. If we keep ourselves number one focused, if we focus on ourselves only, it's selfish. Which in actuality, no, it's not selfish. It's self-preservation.
It's healthy.
It's healthy. Yes, it's healthy. So, but we have that mindset. We have that limiting belief that we can't do this. We have to put myself on the back burner because it's selfish. I have to take care of everybody else around us. I have to take care of everybody else around me first. So getting up in the morning, every morning, and saying, I love you to yourself in the mirror has a lot of surprising benefits. I mean, it boosts your confidence. It helps your self-esteem. It helps you work better. It makes you a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter. there's so many things that can happen when you just say that, you know, and saying I love you is just so important, you know, to really like go in the mirror and really focus on like really saying it, seeing how it feels, where is it resonating in your body? How is your body responding to it? Are you dropping your gaze? Are you looking at yourself in the mirror? Are you feeling emotions? You know, if you're feeling anything, bring those to the surface, because you need to get those out. You know, that's another thing. It's like we're told that we need to push our emotions down. We can't be emotional. We have to be, you know, these, you know, emotionless robots, drones or something, you know. I mean, it's like we're told that we can't show our emotions. So what's coming up for you? What are you feeling? What are you experiencing?
It's a lot of like self-awareness of
Mm-hmm.
what's happening in your mind as you're doing that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So really just be mindful about it. Just really pay attention to it. You know, how is your body responding? And do it for 2 weeks. Try it for 2 weeks. And normally I do this talk, and, you know, and that's a lot more in depth and detail and that kind of thing. And I actually, if I do that talk in other groups and things like that, I will write down everybody's name and I will follow up with every single one of those people and say, hey, how did the challenge go for you? Did you do it? How did it make you feel? You know, get their feedback, because I love to get people's feedback on how it makes them feel, you
Right.
know.
Well, and like right. And like with anything too, when you're starting something new, it takes a while to get that into like a regimen. So if you're starting meditation, or you've, you know, derailed and you're trying to get back on track, it takes that time, you know, because it's what, 30 days to create or break a habit. Is that right? Like,
well, actually it doesn't, you know, it can take anywhere between 66 days to 286 days. And sometimes it can take a whole year for somebody to actually develop a new habit and continuously go on and on and on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because it's so easy to naturally derail yourself, right? You're like, I'm not feeling it today, or all these other things are pulling you in different directions, that you have to be really strong in saying, okay, I'm going to do this for me. Yeah.
Right.
Cool. So when the mirror is your friend, what kind of things change? What changes within you?
You notice you carry yourself a little bit better. Your shoulders are back a little bit, you know, you are a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter. And I've actually seen women lose weight from doing that.
Wow.
You know, it might be a couple pounds, but you know what? A couple pounds is a couple pounds. And that's everything is a success, you know, and, you know, you know, people around you will be a lot, you know, be a lot more kinder, a lot more, you know, brighter as well. And, you know, they have that saying, you know, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. And it really is true. It's like, if you're not happy, that energy projects out into your area around you, and it makes, you know, whether you're happy, it's going to make it happy. If you're sad, people are going to be sad around you. So it really has a huge effect on you. So there's so many things, you know, it'll make you smile more often. You'll just feel better about yourself, and it helps with your mental health, your mental wellness, you know, physical health. You'll probably, you know, be like, hey, I'm going to start that exercise routine, or, hey, I'm going to start, you know, meal prepping because I need to, you know, curb this overeating, binge eating thing. You know, I mean, there's just so many things that you can change just from doing that simple technique every day.
And I've heard from so many friends, just friends of friends, different groups I'm in, how people are really feeling that heaviness right now. Just, I mean, because of COVID and all of the things we've been dealing with over the last several months, racial tension, politics, all of it, that people are feeling this weight. And a lot of times that's when these bad habits creep in, the anxiety, the eating, the depression, and we start putting ourselves further and further on the back burner. So now more than any time is really that time to like focus on you and focus on digging deep within what you love about you, and, you know, work on yourself.
it affects your immune system too. And it affects your immune health. If you're not, happy and you're not taking care of yourself and you're, turning to those unhealthy, emotional outlets and, the drinking or the sitting, binge watching TV, or you're just eating. If you're sitting in that space, it's lowering your immune system. And right now we can't afford to have that happen because of what's going on in the world right now. And we want to keep our immunity health, up. And, and so if you stay in that, that love vibration, that gratitude vibration, and keep that up and keep that happiness going, and wake up every day and just be grateful for that you woke up.
Yeah, for sure. So what are some qualities about yourself that you love that you want other people to know that you will bring to the table when working with you?
Oh goodness. Authenticity. That was one thing that was huge for me, is because I put myself in a box and I put myself over here, and I did 15 years of theater acting, and which had its positives and negatives. It was positives was I was able to talk, I can get on stage, I can talk to thousands of people, that kind of thing. But the negatives is that it taught me how to put on a mask, and it taught me how to put on a role. And so for a huge chunk of my life, I wasn't being authentic. I thought I was, but I wasn't. And so now it's like, I am the realest real I can be. This is me. This is what you get. I'm very real. I'm very open. I'm very honest. I'm very loving and very transparent. I mean, I'm an open book. I mean, you want to know anything, I'll tell you. And I tell it like it is. I always speak my truth. I don't hold anything back. I'm going to tell you, hey, this is what needs to be done. And I'm going to kick you in the butt to get you there,
Absolutely. I mean, and that's a good quality when you're working with someone, because you want someone to keep you in check, and I think that's so important as well, even though it's hard to hear sometimes, like,
Yes.
but you've got to, if you want it bad, then you got to listen and do it.
And you have to get to that point. You have to get to that point where you're like, I'm ready to change. I need this to happen now. And I need somebody who's going to, kick me in the butt and get me there and get me that results that I need. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So to wrap up, what is your favorite quote or affirmation that you want to share with us?
People ask me that all the time. I don't have a specific affirmation. What I do is I love the power of I am. I am are the two most powerful words in the English language, because anything you put on the other side of that has a huge positive or negative effect on how you feel.
Great.
If you're going to say, I am ugly, fat, stupid, and disgusting, you're going to feel ugly, fat, stupid, and disgusting. You're going to feel that, and it's going to resonate out into the world, and it's going to give everybody else the reason to treat you like that doormat, or that, get in that mode of, I'm going to wipe my dirty feet on you because this is how you feel about yourself. Whereas if you say, I am beautiful, brilliant, amazing, awesome, it really changes things. You really, your eyes get a little bit brighter, you feel a little bit lighter, your shoulders are back a little bit more, you stand a little bit taller. So I'm a firm believer on saying I am, using I am affirmations. Every morning I get up, I'm like, I am beautiful, I am special, I am grateful, I am blessed. Whatever I ams want to come out that time. Wow. And I repeat them to myself in the mirror too, along with the I love you.
Yeah.
So I ams are so powerful.
That's kind of what I use with leaders within my team. So I do a training that's like a 6-week training. And every week they have to do an I am that resonates. And that's because a lot of it's mental. I mean, in many areas of our life, it's a psychological thing. So I love that. I love the I am statements too. Well, thank you for your time today, Liza.
Thank you.
If anyone has questions, you can always comment in the Facebook group or reach out directly to Liza. I have posted all of her contact information where you can find it here in the post as well. So you will see that in the post on YouTube and on Facebook. So Wonderful. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay.